Minasan, konnichiwa. Nico here from the Road to Japan podcast and Working Title on YouTube. And I am not here to do a regular episode. Unfortunately, I've been kind of busy, so I haven't had time to do a proper episode. And to be honest, there's not really a lot to discuss at the moment. But there will be some things coming up a little bit later on. But I'm here because I'm posting a video that I feel is incredibly important, especially to people like myself, because it pertains to those of us that are looking to pursue at least the beginning of our careers in Japan, and typically that begins with taking a teaching job. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to be reposting a video that was thrown up by another, I guess you call him a J vlogger, which is, a vlogger is obviously a video blogger, but a J vlogger is a vlogger that does so from Japan. And there have been this developing story going on regarding a school, and I'm assuming this isn't just one school. It's probably a series, at least a few schools in Japan that are taking advantage of folks like myself that are new to the whole idea of teaching in Japan, and just really giving some really raw deals and royally screwing people over. And this J vlogger that I'm kind of sort of working with posted a video basically outing this school. But the problem is that because this J vlogger is in Japan, there could be potentials for essentially things to cause him to have to take the video down, and could even lead to severe things like even a lawsuit. So because I felt this was incredibly important, because of the fact, his video will actually follow this quick intro here, so he'll be giving you the complete story. It's a little under, I think, 20 minutes long, but I highly encourage you to listen or watch, I should say, most, if not the entire video, because there's a lot of crucial information. Most important is that that the name of this school get out there, so that people like me, when we eventually are ready to start looking for work, that we avoid places like this, because places like this do not deserve to function in any way, shape, or form. Now, from me personally, this is not to say that, all companies are going to be like this. Obviously, that's not the case. But there are companies everywhere, all around the world, I imagine, not just Japan, that will try to do stuff like this. And I mean, it was, when you listen to this guy talking about the things that this school did to this one poor fellow, I mean, it's almost mind blowing, really. I was shocked that they were able to get away with this. Now, obviously, this is still kind of as I said, a developing story, but because of the fact that that video might possibly get taken down, I wanted to do my part. So I reached out to him and I asked him if it was okay that I rip the video and post it on my own channel, which is essentially what I'm doing right now. The only thing he asked was that I not edit the video in any way, shape, or form. But I'm allowed to obviously post my thoughts, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'm not really going to say much more beyond that. The only thing I want to mention is that because with my show and my channel, I have a certain way that I do things. I just want to warn those of you that are about to see this video that this guy, he uses foul language. So that's, for me, it's not a deterrent. But if you're someone, or perhaps if, say, you're watching this in an area that may not really do well with foul language, like if for a reason you're listening at work, or you're at home with children or something, you may want to put headphones on. Because I mean, you know, it's not like every other word, but you know, it does come up. So I just wanted to kind of give my audience fair warning about that. It didn't really bother me because it, you know, for me, it was more important to get the message that he was talking about. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to this guy who goes by Unrested on YouTube. And I will provide links, and I'm actually going to copy paste the description that he had in his video in the description for this video. And then I'll put links to his channel and everything, so that if you want to stay updated with this story and perhaps other stories, because I imagine he's gonna, if he finds out about other schools doing this type of stuff, he will continue to throw that information up on his channel as long as possible. So anyway, here's Unrested with the full story.
What's up, everybody? Unrested here. I'm in my studio today because I've got a little video for you that is a job warning. Now, I'm following up on a story, and this story is connected to one that Victor originally started. Victor, give me a break, man. Called Ikaiwa Horror Story. You can go check that video out now. I think it's very important that anyone and everyone planning on working or living in Japan should definitely watch that to make sure they themselves are not abused in the same way that this poor guy was in that video. I'm not going to go ahead and mention his name, but if you go back and you watch the video now, you can pretty much figure out who the guy is and everything. I'm just doing it for him. I've talked personally with the person who I'm doing this video about, and about how he was abused by this company and how he wants, to get the word out there. I want to get the word out there too. He hasn't put me up to this. I didn't put him up to, giving me the information to do this. But we worked in unison, we collabed together because we want to look out for those of you coming to Japan to make sure you are not abused by companies like this, and that companies like this cannot continue to exist. Really, I will do anything and everything in my effort to try my best to shut down companies like this. And my main reason for that, I'm going to be 100% honest, when I first got here, I was totally fucked over by Nova. They, of course, still exist now. They've been bought out by GCOM. They're kind of a totally different company now. They still continue to hemorrhage money, but they do still exist. They went bankrupt at the time, pretty much left me destitute without a job and no paycheck. But what this company has done, I would say, is even worse. I mean, because at least with Nova, we could say they ran out of money and that's why they didn't pay us. With this, there's just no excuse. They're just evil. They're just evil people, and they want to fuck over gaijin coming to Japan. And I want to stop that from happening to you, and I want to stop companies like this from thriving, existing, and continuing to do horrible things to gaijin. They either need to change their ways, get new management, and be shut the fuck down, let's be honest. Okay, so the name of the school, first off, let me just go ahead and give you some information about what the school's name is, because let's be 100% honest, this is all on the internet. You can find this school just by searching the internet. The information that I have right here that I'm going to give you, Brains, or the full name of the school is American International Brains Kiddy Club. They have a school in Yokohama, Kanagawa prefecture. They also have another in Mie prefecture in Yokkaichi City. Sorry. So they've got two schools. If either of those schools try to hire you or you interview for them, give them a big middle finger and say, fuck no. Do not take a job for them. And I'm going to tell you why you should not take a job for them. The other J-Vlogger I talked to, and this was another J-Vlogger who actually got screwed over, so this is, of course, us working together in the J-Vlog community to make sure others aren't screwed over. I wanted him to just go ahead and give me a list, because I'm not going to remember verbatim everything that happened to him, so I wanted to come straight from his mouth. So this is me reading verbatim. Here's the things they did to me and others. Number one, I had to work for free for 2 months. After 2 months, they would only pay me 70%. Okay, so right off the back, work for free for 2 months. No. No. If any company asks you to do that, that's literally like slave labor. The reason he was kind of stuck in that situation, and he didn't explain it here, but he was put in an apartment by them, so pretty much if he quit, then he's homeless. So they kind of held him hostage within his own apartment and job. So he's working for free for 2 months, pretty much an indentured servant to this company. They only pay you 70% of your pay for the first 3 to 4 months. No excuse for that, just And he said when he would ask them about it, every time they would change their story, they'd be like, oh, we had to take out some pay for fire insurance, or we had to take out some pay for apartment insurance. This is bullshit, okay? When you sign the contract, when you put down the key money, when you go ahead and agree to all your rental stuff, everything's like that's been taken care of. The rental companies made sure that's taken care of. They don't say, oh, you know what, go ahead and move in. 3 or 4 months later down the line, can you go ahead and pay apartment insurance? Obviously, something could happen to the apartment in between there. Now, I'm not saying companies don't make you pay apartment insurance, but they would make you pay it right away. And I'm saying the rental company, not the company you're working for. First off, if a company tries to place you into an apartment and lock you into that, and with this company, they made him pay key money. They should never make you pay key money. Okay, no company, they can set you up with an apartment. That's cool. Anova did that for me. It actually helped me out quite a bit. I have a friend who runs a school. It's a small kindergarten, and he pays his teachers about $2,000, $2,500, which is a little bit less than usual, and then supplements their pay by giving them a place to stay. He has a whole entire house that he's changed into little apartments and rents it out. That's cool. He's actually really setting them up with a good gig because the area that he's in is really kind of a countryside area, kind of hard for them to find housing. This company is pretty much saying, look, we've found a place that we've decided you're going to live in and you're going to pay everything for. The key money, you're going to go into only the place that we choose. And on top of it, they're charging him more rent than what is normal for the place to make a profit off of him renting the place. So the rental company's getting their money, and then they've made the rent even higher through the company, and the company's taking a split too. So they're pretty much banking on him. 2 different ways for him working there, for him not getting paid, I guess for 3 different ways, and for making money off of his apartment fee that he's paying. Wow. Okay, they make you in debt for, they make you in debt to them by charging you for their favors. I paid them back over Juman, that's about $1,000, for 12 months before I paid them back everything. So he was on some kind of payback system in which they continued to make up more reasons in which to pay them back. I guess they loaned him out money so he could eat and, you know, survive basic things, and then put an APR on it and actually collected a fee for that. Wow. This is incredibly devious. Like, no company should ever do this. If any company ever sets you up with some sort of plan like this, this is like hellishly malicious. Let's just say he has quit. Okay, so don't think he's continued to let himself be abused like this. I had to pay back everything: connection fees, disconnection fees, ending contracts or water, electric, gas, apartment. It goes on and on. November, December 2013, I worked for free on a tourist visa, totally illegal. So he was working for them for free on a tourist visa. That's how they were getting away with this. I guess they weren't reporting it. But if any time a immigration official had somehow checked that, come into that business and checked it out, he actually would have gotten deported. Of course, they would have gotten fined a little bit. They would have gotten a little bit of trouble. But the biggest problem that he would have run into is he himself would have gotten deported, and possibly deported for up to 10 years, which means he can't come back to the country for a very long time. All because they didn't do the processing stuff for his visa. That is their job. That's not anything that he can get started until they give him the correct information. Okay. They told me to be quiet about it and to tell nobody, that I'd get in trouble for not having the correct visa. No shit, you broke the law. Yeah. And this is coming from him verbatim. I'm literally reading it here. They continue to break the laws. They haven't reported to immigration yet that I quit last week. That's totally fucking with him, because as he tries to apply to new jobs, they need to see that he quit the old job. And yes, that's completely illegal. They should report it within the week that he quits, and they need to pay him everything that they owe him within that first week. A lot of companies don't do that. They do wait the entire pay cycle. It's still actually going against the law to do that, but this company hasn't paid him anything. They haven't even waited for the pay cycle to go through and then paid him. They just haven't paid him his last paycheck. Okay. Let's see what else. They broke the law by not paying me within 7 days of firing me, like I just said, with no notice. Japanese labor law states of a minimum of 30-day notice is the law to give said employee before firing them. So, I should let you know this whole situation too. He got fed up with what they're putting him through during this whole ordeal. Everything from paying back all this money to forcing him to stay in an apartment. Then they were going to move him to another apartment and force him to pay new key money. They just decided, oh, you know what, we want you at a new location. You're going to move into this place we chose for you, and you're going to have to get all the key money ready for that. That's a lot of money. That can be upwards of Nijuman, which is like $2,000. And they just decided all this stuff off the bat for him. When you're already making about $2,000 to $2,500, which he wasn't even making that amount at this company, That's like just giving away one of your entire paychecks because that company decided to move you and isn't paying for the move, which is insane. I mean, again, this is totally insane. Everything I'm reading to you is insane. I can't believe a company would do this to their employees and consider any sort of respect or loyalty from them. So, of course, he finally got fed up at that point, was like, fuck you, I quit. So, like I said, number one, they haven't paid him. They decided not to pay him. Let's see. They broke the law by not paying me within 7 days. Oh, and they fired him on the spot. Oh, and most important, there's so much stuff. This company has done so much stuff. Okay, what I wanted to get to is they did not report it. They did not give him a 30-day notice of firing. And number two, they decided they were going to kick him out of his apartment. They told him, well, you know what? You need to get the fuck out of your apartment, pack up your shit, and go. Well, lucky for him, his rental company actually had a little bit more humanity than this evil corporation, or small business it really is. And he went in there and asked him, is it true? Do I need to move out? And luckily, you know, they were nice enough to be like, well, look, your rental agreement is with us, and, you know, you can stay till the end of the month. Or I think he could have stayed up to 3 months in there. In Japan, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually stay in an apartment for 3 months without paying your rent until they can legally kick you out. So luckily they informed him of all this stuff. They're like, look, you know, you don't have to move yourself out onto the street right away, because he had no money. He had nothing saved up to suddenly move to another place. You know, someone shouldn't have to plan for their company sending them out onto the street. No company should be that evil to begin with. When you take on the signing of a visa, you're taking on the care of that employee from another country. We have no safety nets here, so this company is taking advantage of that. That's all they're doing. And so they're a bunch of fucking evil people. Okay, so they try to kick him out. They don't give him 30 days notice. They try to kick him out of his apartment. They don't pay him his last paycheck. On top of it, here's more. I was sick back in October for my days off. They scheduled me to pass out flyers for those 4 Mondays, only 4 hours a day, but I was sick, so I didn't go in. So that's 16 hours I missed each day, 4 hours. Causeway, the president's wife, shitted on me and took 8 hours deducted per 4-hour day I missed. So she took double, 32 hours of pay away. Wow, nice. Really nice. Do that to a guy who's just sick and can't come in because he's sick. And on top of it, you want him to stand out in the cold and pass out flyers. Nice. Really well done. For that month, I only received Juman yen for my paycheck, and they kept Goman. Okay, so that's saying his normal paycheck is $2,500. They only gave him $1,000 of his paycheck and kept $1,500 of his paycheck. You would have to miss more than half the month to fucking do something like that. That doesn't make any sense. He missed 4 hours of 4 days. He was only scheduled for 4 hours on the 4 days that he missed. So 16 total. That's the entire amount that he missed for that entire month. And instead they took more than half of his pay away. Holy shit, man. Please tell me how they cannot see this as fucked up. I mean, I don't see how any company... I'm sure even a company as evil as Nova, or some of the other evil companies I've talked about that I've worked for where I suddenly quit, even they wouldn't stoop this low. Even they would be like, okay, that's pretty fucked up. I could understand where, you know, we would suddenly have a mutiny inside of our school. They keep calling and harassing my best friend in Tokyo, and he isn't even involved in this situation. He wanted to help me at first, and he went to the company in Tsurumichuo, Yokohama, Kanagawa prefecture, and told him a bunch of lies and threatened that they'd shut off my utilities. That's when I took action and went to the realtor, Suido, which is sewer and water, best way to explain it, about switching my names for all the bills. So he wanted to switch everything into his name so that his school couldn't turn it off. So anyways, just examples of them fucking with me. I want them to pay me for what they owe me. The 2 months of pay I worked for free, November and December of 2013. Then January 2015, they owe me Niju Goman, $2,500. February I worked 6 days, which was Rokuman Sansen yen, that's like $630. They ended up only paying me Jukuman, which is 1,900. Upon vacationing, upon vacating my apartment that I paid up until the end of February. Bullshit, huh? The Labor Bureau is in contact with Brain's company, and I think that's when the Shot Show contacted and harassed my best friend. So, the only good news that we have so far is luckily he was smart enough and brave enough and intelligent enough to go ahead and report this to the Labor Bureau. You know, when a company screws with you this bad, I highly suggest doing that. I've had to do it in my past, and they did absolutely nothing. But according to him, he's told me over the last few days they've started investigating the company. Now what the company's trying to do is take a little bit of time and be like, oh, we're so busy right now, we can't get you the books on what we, you know, the money and stuff going around in this company. So they're like giving them, I guess they're going to give them a little bit of time. The labor bureaus are like, all right, you have this deadline to give us the information. If you don't, then we take it to the next step. I really hope the Labor Bureau does that. I really hope these guys don't try to burn the books and lie to the Labor Bureau, which I'm pretty sure they're going to try and do. Will the Labor Bureau continue to do anything to pursue it past that? I'm not 100% sure. Guys, if you ever hear about this company, let me name the company one more time. American International Brains Kitty Club. Spread the fucking word. Spread the word. Let everybody and anybody you know to not work for this company. Let anybody and everybody you know who would even take lessons at that company. Students, you know, possible students applying to it. Where do you go to Yokohama? Oh, you go to this company? Well, let me tell you a little bit about that company and what they've done to the gaijin that have worked there. Okay, and it's not just that. He's got stories of actually other Japanese employees who've worked there too that they've fucked over pretty hardcore. And other gaijin there. He's not the first guy to have this happen to you, which is usually the situation with these kind of companies. Let me just put this down for a second, and I'm just going to go off on my own personal thoughts about this. Guys, companies like this need to be shut the fuck down, alright? Some people might be worried that I make this video. Some people had actually told me beforehand that if you make a video like this, it can be considered slander. In Japan, the laws are a little bit different. In America, if a company actually does do something evil like this and you have proof of it, which we pretty much do here with this guy not getting his paycheck and the Labor Bureau currently involved in investigating it, I think that's proof enough if you're getting investigated. In America, I could go ahead and go off on this, and then, you know, the company could make their own video and repute it, or could, you know, send me a message, hey, please take it down, but they couldn't really take any slander or libel actions. In Japan, they could try and do that. They could actually try and tell me to take this video down. What they would have to do is actually get a lawyer. He would have to be representing them. They would then have to pay him money to write a certified letter. That certified letter would then have to come to me and give me a cease and desist one, in which case I would just probably private this video for a little bit, wait for a little while, and if they want to, you know, keep checking back on my channel, that's good. I get a lot of views. You can go ahead and check it out every day and see if I put the video back up. But I'm going to put it back up eventually if I was forced to privatize it for a bit, and it'll be right back out. I'm not going to take this video down. I think companies like this should be fucking crushed. We should do anything and everything in our power to stop not only people being hired by them so that they don't get screwed over like this poor guy did, but we need to stop them from getting students too, because we don't want students paying into schools like this and helping to support this kind of business thriving in Japan. We want to see businesses like this waste away into nothingness. If you can help spread the word, I'd really appreciate it. Let everybody know. Once again, let me just read that company's name. American International Okay, just a second. Sorry, my son. American International Brains Kitty Club. Yokohama and Mie. Alright, guys? Make sure. No students, no teachers should have to work for there. Okay? Let everybody know, spread the word. If you hear anybody talking about, oh, I might be going for an interview with them, let them know. Let them know this story, okay? Or just direct them to my video if you want. That's fine too. Until next time, I'm Unrested, just warning you about some bad jobs out there, guys. This kind of stuff does happen. Always research the company you're going to work for. If you can, talk to a couple of the teachers working there. Try to see the overall disposition of the school before you start. You're not always going to be able to do that. Obviously, he wasn't able to in this case. Nonetheless, if you can, please check it out. Until next time, I'm Unrested. If you like what you saw here today, like, comment, and subscribe.